All right, so here we go. Hello, Blues Crypto. I'm going to make you the presenter. Looking forward to meeting you and seeing your screen and setup. And we had that big pop in Ripple last week. Curious as to what other ripples might be out there hiding underneath a rock. How you, Blues?
Hello, how are you?
No, I'm fine. Better this week than the last couple. Very nice to meet you. And I have to start here. Why Blues Crypto? Did you
Okay.
top tick the Bitcoin market at 18K, or do you play Fender Stratocaster?
No, wait. You're asking me why I chose Blues Crypto?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it's so simple because I just happen to be a fan of blues.
Okay.
You know, Chelsea, a football club. So yeah.
Okay. I got it. So why don't you tell? It looks like you have a nice setup here, and I want to talk about Bitcoin and some of the other instruments. But why don't you tell us about your first foray into the business? Was it crypto, or did you start somewhere else? What were you doing before you became a trader?
Yeah, well, actually, I started being interested in trading in 2013.
Okay.
So I traded exclusively Forex.
Okay.
So I didn't start really. I wasn't serious about my trading in the beginning. So I think just like most traders, I just started looking at charts. And at the beginning, I started following other traders. So it wasn't really my setups. And I ended being, I blown up my two first accounts.
Okay.
So
that's not unusual.
I learned a lot. Yeah, I learned a lot. So
Right.
when I started using moving averages. So I started learning about moving averages and candlestick patterns.
Okay.
After that, from mid 2015, I dedicated myself seriously for trading. So I turned that to price action because I like it the most, and it's fairly used lately. So
yeah, I see you have kind of a combination of using a couple of fibs and kind of pivot points or supply demand areas, weekly low, daily resistance block, and otherwise pretty naked. You trade pretty naked out there.
Yeah, I mostly look for resistance, for support levels, for support and demand, for weekly highs, weekly lows, because there's where the most volume is, where the volatility incurs. Yeah,
what exchange do you use for trading this instrument, the Bitcoin US dollar perpetual inverse swap contract? Oh, BitMEX, I see.
Yeah, BitMEX. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
It's not. It's exclusively you trade with Bitcoin. So
I see.
you send your Bitcoin there and you trade with it. So there's no need to do KYC. There's no need to.
Okay.
There's no verification. Actually,
you feel comfortable holding substantial balances at BitMEX?
Well, the good thing is they have a good leverage. They have an up to 100x. So
you don't need to have a lot there.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's good. Other than that, I use Bitfinex. I think it's a bit more famous.
Okay.
Because it has the other assets like Ripple, like Ethereum. It has many altcoins. We call them altcoins. Okay. I don't know if you have a good background in crypto or you're mostly Forex guy.
I'm a kind of a neophyte. I mean, a chart is a chart is a chart to me, but it's a new area I'm educating myself in. That's, call me selfish. That's why I bring guys like you in here, because I learn from you. You get a little visibility, and I learn from you. So let me ask you this: when you're trading, Bitcoin's pretty liquid. Do you trade it with market orders or limit orders?
Okay, so it depends. Most of the time, I'm just a guy that likes to wait for the price action for what happens after it touches a certain level.
And then you'll go
So
at
I
then
usually
you'll go at the
enter,
market.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
if you want to make big orders, you don't need to do, you don't have to do that. Yeah. Well, you don't want to do that because the slippage sometimes, especially in BitMEX, actually the problem with crypto right now is there are no decent exchanges. Like if you compare it to Forex, you have decent engines, you have very little slippage.
Right.
But with BitMEX, sometimes you get a big slippage, so you don't want to enter $2 million position market
Yeah, it's like
because
the wild, wild west where the market makers,
yeah,
the
exactly, yeah,
exchanges are
exactly,
getting rich on slippage. We call it
exactly.
slippage, they call it profit margin. What do you
Yeah,
think? Let me ask you this about this formation. So we're looking at a big triangle. To me, it looks like in Bitcoin, you have that descending line and kind of a
exactly.
flat bottom, and we've had a little, I don't know, Elliott guys might call it an ABC or a three-wave bounce so far off the
Yeah,
lows. What's your read on
this was
Bitcoin here? Is there a heartbeat,
yeah,
or do we need a final capitulation
yeah.
low?
Well, let's start like overall.
Okay.
If we analyze, I just have another chart, so it's more general. Like we have a bear market. We've been in a bear market since January, February. So it's now 8 months, and
Okay.
every time we had a bounce, we just retraced to the magical number, to the
Okay.
0.68618.
No.
So it happened 3 times. So far,
Look
it
at that.
happened 3 times. Yeah, if I
That's
don't know if
interesting.
you,
So
if you,
now
yeah,
you know every instrument kind of has its own personality. So
exactly. Yeah.
you've kind of discovered, and that's a pearl for us here, Blues, is how much Bitcoin respects 61.8.
Yeah, actually, it's
Thank you for
quite
that.
interesting. Like,
Okay.
the a difference this time, the last 2 times we made, instead of making a lower low, we've made a higher low here, and here too we just made a higher low,
Subtle.
and we got back again to the zone, nearly. We didn't touch it this time,
Hmm.
but nearly there, nearly retraced to 0.618.
Do you
So
have
it's quite interesting to see the follow up here because it's going down again, like exactly like before. But the recent move was stronger. Yeah. So let's get back to the
do you
point.
trade
What
both
was the
sides
question?
of the market, long and short side of Bitcoin?
I'm mostly long. I'm mostly long.
Why is that?
Because for me the upside momentum is bigger than the downside,
Because you're
and especially.
long-term bias? Because of your long-term bias? Is that it?
You can say that I'm biased. I'm
Okay.
bullish on crypto. I'm bullish on crypto, but not
Okay.
only that. Because like if we see exactly the overall picture, the macro picture, we've been in a bear month we've been in a bear market for 8 months.
Hmm.
So the bear case for me is just weakening. We
Hmm.
better be not trapped in a short if there's a change in the trend, and I
Okay.
expect this quarter I expect it to be green. Maybe not the first weeks, but for sure it will be green. Even if you compare it to 2014, there was a bubble in 2014. Bitcoin
Yes.
went to 1,000 and then retraced 90%. But even when Bitcoin was going down, we had a surge in altcoins, in the other coins, the other assets. We had a big surge, and it's happening right now. Like we've seen it with Ripple last week.
Right.
It went straight up. It went more
Oh,
than
triple.
100%.
Oh, it did
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
yeah.
Let me ask you this. These moves that happen, um, I think that some of this stuff kind of reminds me of like bulletin board stocks and pink sheet stocks, and the way those guys would get things to move, and maybe altcoins are like that. is they would pay an investor relations firm a certain amount of money or offer them stock, whether it was free trading or restricted. Does that happen in this universe too, where to bring in buying, people will offer them, their part of their ICO, or if it's already trading?
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
Okay,
There are
and
a lot of
and then
ICOs. Yeah.
yeah, and then they'll guarantee that they're going to bring in a certain amount of buying or volume into it for the paper they get, or the coins they get.
They surely don't guarantee returns, but they expect this to happen.
I see.
I've seen a lot of ICOs giving a lot of shares to investors. Like
Yeah,
there are
see,
some
so
investors that hold more than 5-10%.
As Solomon said, there's nothing new under the sun. So I mean, they're basically doing what was, done in real illiquid pink and bulletin board stocks for decades. They're doing it here in the crypto universe.
Yeah,
But
they're not changing the game. Yeah.
okay, and a
So
lot less regulation to deal with to transfer assets back and forth, right?
yeah, the regulation is another aspect, right? It could be interpreted as bearish or bullish. Depends on how the regulation will be.
How do you keep track of all these different instruments? I mean, even as a Forex trader, I have a hard time, following, more than, a handful, a dozen different pairs. There's just such a huge universe now, especially if you include altcoins. How do you filter out what's worth paying attention to?
Yeah, to be honest, there are a lot of assets, so I restrict myself. Even if I watch like 15, 20 good assets, I restrict myself to not go over 10 assets at a time, because it's very hard to monitor after that. The other thing is I happen to have a Discord group where I share with other traders. So usually every trader has 2 or 3 altcoins that he looks for exactly.
Okay,
And
so interesting.
When you see some movement, some interesting movement, like volume coming in,
right,
or some news in the background, like some announcement coming, they just hit us up. So, and we look at the chart, and there are other interesting things like the money coming in. If you look at exchanges, Korean exchanges or Japanese exchanges, you usually see the flow of the money in the fiat pairs. Like we've seen that with Ripple exactly. We've seen that with Ripple last week.
So a lot of it was conversion of Korean won into Ripple?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like last week, most of the volume came from Korea and Japan. It was new money. This didn't happen in a long time. It is last 8 months. It was just money recycled in the market and then going out. There was no inflow of money.
How do you know it was the new money?
Yeah, I don't have the indicator right now. I mostly look at Coinbase. I mostly look at Coinbase volume because it's the major fiat exchange, fiat gateway. I mostly look at fiat gateways to make a comparative.
All right. Well, people will have to get in touch with you after this interview to find out some of the,
sure,
insights that you have. So we may as well go there. So you say you have a community or people that you work with on Discord. Is that kind of like a platform for doing webinars?
It's not webinars, but it's like a chat group.
I see.
It's like a chat group with
it's like a chat room.
We have different channels. Yeah, it was a chat room. We have different channels. We have Bitcoin channels, altcoin channels. There are even on Discord. The good thing in Discord, you have even voice channels. You can just talk and voice with the other people in there. So it's quite good to exchange information and not just keeping yourself in your bubble. So keep you in touch with them, because there's so much going on with crypto that it's impossible to keep track of everything.
Yeah, so there's
I
an advantage of having a community, is what you're saying. I mean,
yeah.
I believe in that. I mean, even in FX, where it's not as,
Mhm.
there aren't the kind of numbers of instruments that you have to deal with. I may come in and see nothing, and someone in my community will point something out that'll be compelling to me. And if I wasn't in a community, I never would have known. So you have a lot of eyeballs working together in your community.
Yeah,
What's the best way for guys that want to, do some more crypto trading to reach you? Would it be through Twitter, or do you have a website, or any kind of business model you want to share with us now?
yeah. If you want to start with crypto, well, the fastest way, there are many groups. There are many groups, but you also have some Twitter
Well, I want to be
persons.
in your group. How do I do that? I don't
Yeah,
want to be
actually,
in many. I want to be in Blue's Crypto's group.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
the group I'm in is actually a paid group,
Okay.
but well,
It's not
I'm not
your.
the one. I'm not the one that's monitoring it, but
Okay. You're
it's a
just a
paid group.
member.
Yeah.
You're a member of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we don't have to promote him. When you
Mm.
get yours going, we'll promote
Uh,
you. But go ahead. Show it.
yeah.
All right.
Well. Yeah. Okay. So
Okay. Blue's
no problem
Crypto.
with that.
This is what, your Twitter page? No.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, it
It's
is.
my
Okay. All right.
So
So I'm
so what
following
happens
you
to
now.
yeah. This one. Yeah. This is the group. Actually, it's the Crypto Duck Pound, which is a
Oh,
nice
okay.
group. It's a nice community. Yeah. It's a nice community. To be honest,
How
it's a nice
many
community.
how many people are in
The
there during the
uh
day?
well, active users are between 20 and 40.
Okay.
Yeah. And you
Crypto
have
dog.
hundreds of people, hundreds of people active
I
in.
like dogs more than people. How about you?
Sorry, I didn't
I
understand.
like dogs more than people.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Aren't
you
they
know
nice?
what they say, dogs are loyal.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, so they're
If you're gonna
yeah.
be, they say that to the president, that when you're in Washington, if you want a friend, get a dog. So let me ask you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
just a piece, yeah, sorry, just a piece of what you can find in Twitter that is really valuable. There is a lot of noise, of course, but
Right.
there's also a lot of information, a lot of good things to find. Like there's a thread about about how CZ. I don't know if you heard of Binance.
Yeah.
Binance, yeah,
It's an exchange, right?
it's actually the exchange with the most volume on crypto right now.
Okay.
Yeah, if we look at exchanges, so yeah,
Yeah, I see it. Number one.
yeah, number one, yeah.
Okay.
So when you look at this trade, there are a lot of rumors that he's trying to liquidate his assets because they happen to have a coin that's powering the exchange. The coin serves when you have the coin, when you own the coin, and you
Yeah.
pay the fees with the coin, you get a discount of 50%. So it's quite
Wow.
useful when you trade there. Or instead of paying 0.1%,
Yeah.
you pay 0.05 with while holding the coin. So it's kept its value. It was the only asset. It was the only crypto asset that didn't have a negative result in 2018.
Wow.
But
Okay.
yeah, quite.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive. But the real reason was that he was the CEO of Binance was the person that was keeping the price up, and
Okay.
and he has a lot of bots that operate in his exchange
Wow.
in another manner than there is some shady stuff going on.
These guys need to write a book, how to master market manipulation, how to distribute at the highs and accumulate at the lows.
It's incredible, actually. This is incredible.
Hey, look, there's space. Anyway, Blue, it was really a pleasure meeting you, and I encourage people at least to, get your Twitter handle at Blues Crypto. And I learned quite a few things from you today, especially to be watching what's happening out of Asia with the Korean won and the yen. They seem to be the most heaviest adopters of this stuff.
Yeah.
Do you agree? It's mainly out of.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you
Yeah,
think it is out of Korea? I mean, their economy is starting to slow down a bit. Why do you think it's? Go ahead.
I think it's more culture related stuff.
Yeah, they don't trust.
They're more into technology than other
Okay.
populations. If you compare them.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for your time, and hope you had some fun, and you're definitely informative about something that still is pretty overwhelming to me. So would you tell people to take their time delving into crypto and
exactly.
People do and trade very small. Don't use a lot of leverage.
If you want to start crypto, you need to get the maximum information for at least 2 months. Like you need to brainstorm. You need to brainstorm before investing. And yeah, even if you plan to invest in a 5 years plan or 2 years plan, you need to keep track of the whole market, of the market as a whole, because the market cycles move very fast compared to the other markets. Like
how much faster would you say than FX? How much faster? Because right now it doesn't seem because I only look at Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin. I don't look at a ton of them, but you think that the cycles are faster than even FX?
Yeah, well, to FX, it's more about swings. It's more about swings than market cycles. I see FX mostly as swings, but if you compare, for example, to all the markets, like with the .com bubble,
yes,
it's we've waited for 8 years to recover from the bubble. Well, when you see Bitcoin, we've had a lot of bubbles. We've had the 100 bubble, the 1,000, and now the 20,000.
But instead of I see what you're saying. So instead of 8 years, or 8 months.
Exactly. Yeah. We have a shorter time. We have shorter term. We have short time before the price goes in and tap the all-time high again.
People have
recovers pretty fast.
People have shorter-term memories in crypto.
Yeah, sure.
They forget faster. Well, thank you very much, Blues, for
thank you for having me. Thank you for
hanging out with me, and it was really a pleasure meeting you. And like it or not, you're my trading warrior brother, buddy.
Me too. Thanks.
All right. Everyone, thank Blues Crypto. You can follow him at Blues Crypto. I could tell from talking to him for just 25 minutes that you can learn plenty. If that's
you can ask him. You can DM me questions. You can ask him questions, even if.
Yeah, there you go.
Just send me a question.
So this Blues is a resource that can send you to other resources. So definitely, you were a gem that I found on Twitter. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right,
Have
everyone.
a good day.
Thank you. Okay, Faith, that's it. See everyone for Turnaround Tuesday. Great to be back. Let's kill it this fall. And remember, you only have a week left to get the deal from ForexAnalytix, the discount, the once-a-year discount. And if you're not happy with your broker, get a hold of Forest Park. See everyone tomorrow. Good hunting. And don't forget, because I haven't forgotten, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. I count being here today as one. I'll see everyone tomorrow for Turnaround Tuesday. Adios. Thanks again, Blues.